Hey everybody, and welcome back to Investment Honey, where we talk about various crypto projects. Before we begin, I want to let you know that I'm not your financial advisor. I do not provide financial advice on the channel, and I don't even encourage you to invest. But what I am going to do is share with you my own personal opinion and views on the projects discussed on the channel. So we're looking at Tate Social. So they do have a pre-sale that's going to be coming up. So we're going to go ahead and head on over there. We can see Tate Social. It's going to be a fair launch. We get some badges here. So as far as the audit's concerned on this one, it did pass with no high or medium severity issues. They are KYC'd, and I believe that's going to be through Presale, I think. Yep, okay. And we can see that this is going to be upcoming. We can see the pre-sale is going to start in just over 19 hours from now, from the time of me recording the video. And we get some socials, and their description. So we can see Tate Social is a social fi offering videos, TV shows, streaming podcasts inspired by Andrew Tate's banned on social networks. A social fi platform with a checkmate marketing strategy that gives Tate Social the potential to explode as impactfully as the Tate brothers rise to fame. DApp is ready. If you remember the Tate token, TOPG, the all-time high was 50x, and TOPG coin all-time high was 30x in August. So, and now Tate Social, TOPG could be your best chance, for 100x to 100x your property. Now, let me also point out, whether we're talking about the Tate token or TOPG and the X's that it did, you guys already know, as I've told you before, if you've seen any of my other videos, the main thing is you do not want to be looking at any project, based on X's that it did in some other prior project, even if it's by the same team, because again, you have a completely different set of circumstances, different people that were involved in the project, in terms of holders, maybe the sentiment was a bit different, for crypto at that time. I mean, so many other things can affect it, so I always tend to, it's cool, whatever, they go ahead and they highlight this kind of stuff, but again, teaching, help you guys understand, showing you, that you gotta, and telling you gotta look at crypto objectively. Not with hype, not with excitement and FOMO, but you got to look at within the details and look at the information, and you got to operate, from an informed position, because we've seen all too often that when people go ahead and chase pumps, and they get all excited and they hurry up and they jump in, what happens? So many times the story has been the same over and over again. People get completely wrecked. So, not saying that that's going to happen here, but I'm just saying that, hey, if it's me speaking for me, because I'm never going to go ahead and advise you on your money, y'all. That's never going to happen. But I'm going to tell you that, hey, I personally believe, that a much more, impactful way to go ahead and take a look at a token, in my personal opinion, outside of FOMO and hype, is just to make sure that you're looking at objectively to be as informed as you possibly can be. I just tend to think that when we leap first and we don't go ahead and do our homework, a lot of times it doesn't matter whether we're talking about crypto, our personal lives, our families. We oftentimes, end up feeling like we didn't do the right thing, and we've got a lot of regretful kind of experiences, and, just experiences that, where we just kind of wish that we did things a bit differently, so it's always better to do your homework. And I mean, we've been hearing that since the days that we were in school. Always do your homework, regardless of how you're going to go ahead and engage with anything. We're not just talking about crypto, we're talking about anything in life. So with that said, moving forward, we see that, because it's a fair launch, we get that soft cap. So we're getting a 50 BNB soft cap. That's, highlighted again here in the soft cap information here. And then we also see the liquidity lockup time is going to be 365 days after the pool ends. And the token metrics are here as well. So nothing concerning, with the information on this page right now for me personally. Now looking at the documentation, so we're going to take a look at the tokenomics, because I want to highlight that. So we can see what's going to what, 35% going to pre-sale, 25% going to community and reward, 15% going to centralized exchange and liquidity, 10% to partners, 5% to the team, and 10% to marketing. All right, so, and then they got a graph here that kind of represents what's going on there as well. So we can also see the total supply here. We're looking at 1 billion tokens, and we can see that they're calling this TOPG. Okay, so that's kind of interesting. So I want to go back here because I didn't cover the token symbol, but yeah, I mean, that's what they're calling it. So either way, moving forward, we can see on the tax, so you're looking at 7% on the buy and sell, 8% slippage is recommended. It's going to be broken down, 3% going into revenue sharing distribution or rev share, 2% to the burn, and 2% to liquidity. And then on the roadmap, we get a number of different phases here, and it's going into 2023, which is, it's good to see that they've got some timelines, as we always talk about on this channel. Website development in Q4, Safe Food Token contract, Pink Still Fair launch, and as we know, that's going to be coming up in when? Just over 19 hours and 33 minutes. All right, so, and then we see launching the D app, CMC, and CG listing. This should be just applying, submitting the application since they're not pre-listed. At least I'm not aware of that. Centralized exchange registration before listing, create content to earn, interact to earn. Academy opens, affiliate marketing to Google, YouTube, TikTok, China market, partnership talk call channels, marketing campaigns, staking feature, AMA show around the world, launching Tate's task assignment and acceptance system with fans. Now, one of the issues, and I want to highlight this at this point in the video, that I'm concerned about regarding this project is the fact that the last time somebody tried to go ahead and do a Tate token, a Tate fan token, it wasn't long before Tate, made a complaint or an issue and managed to get that project, shut down. So, or at least made them change direction in terms of what they were doing. So, just be aware that this token, could potentially encounter some of the same issues, because Tate doesn't like anybody, using his name, or representing him in any way without his permission, whether you're a fan or otherwise, on any crypto project, so I just want to go ahead and highlight that. And I don't know how the team is maybe anticipated, dealing with that kind of situation, but there are a lot of people that don't mind fan tokens. If you go ahead and use their personality and say, hey, we're representing this person in a fan token in crypto, there are a lot of people that don't mind it, but Tate is one of those people that does mind it. He does care. And I wonder what the team, is going to do, if Tate decides to take an issue with the fact that they are really focusing on using his name, his image, in regards to this project. So just some food for thought, something to think about. Q1 here in 2023, we're looking at the VIP NFT collection, stream to earn platform, watching promotional videos to earn, affiliate marketing expansion, podcast platform, talk to earn, Academy Phase 2, influencer partnership, expanding video archives and updates for celebrities and content creators, and onboarding additional call channels. In Q2, and this is going to be the end of it, project partnerships, high-level influencer partnerships, centralized exchange. I love the fact they're indicating which exchanges, because we do talk about that a lot on the channel, that a lot of times projects will go ahead and indicate they're going to be going for a centralized exchange. But we don't ever know the tier, and we never know which ones they're going after. So I do like the fact that they are mentioning that here. Influencer connection, video streaming of TV show update, Crypto Academy Phase 3, affiliate marketing, and e-commerce sales with Amazon, which is not spelled correctly, eBay, etc. Affiliate marketing and advertising for iOS and Android apps. So that takes us through the roadmap. Head back over to the main page. So we can see that because he's been banned from social media. All right, so they got the band up here. Welcome to Tate Social, decentralized financial social network with the application of blockchain, technology, and Web3. We get some links to their socials. We get the CA. The preset's going to start in 19 hours, 30 minutes. So as always, whenever we get these timers, embedded in pages, always want to make sure that they line up with the official Pink Still page. So does it? 1929. Let's see. Yes, it does. So that's good. All right, so we get a buy now button here as well, and we see, so they give you some information, financial social network for freedom, connectivity, sharing, and opportunity, and then this information here. And then we can see a button to the white paper and white paper. Now the white paper is actually, it's basically a pitch deck, okay? It's not really a white paper, in my personal opinion. And then you got the white paper, which we just took a look at, which was right here, all right? So it says white shoes, the Tate Social, make money online, Tate Social DAO, and the DAOs are just, ultimately community may be able to go and participate in some decisions, staking and rating, and the VIP NFT collection. And then we see here make money online, with Tate Social, and this again is why I'm highlighting why Tate may have an issue with this, using his name and making money off of his name. And rightfully so, but it's not anything that I don't have anything against the team or the project doing whatever they want to do. However, I'm just providing you guys with some perspective on this. So, and then we see here that you can go ahead and expand on these, expand and learn. This basically to me is kind of like, an FAQ, sort of like, where you have a question here and they give you a response, so, but not exactly an FAQ, but either way, I like the layout of it. So moving forward, we see tokenomics, and so we can see total supply again, and then we already covered this, as well, but it's basically just token distribution information, and then we see the roadmap, which we've already gone ahead and covered, the roadmap. But the only other thing I would say in regards to the roadmap is that even though I love the fact we get timelines, we need to see, what have you already completed? Now, the other thing I'm going to say in regards to this particular roadmap is that you see how this is cut off right here, and there's no way to go ahead and see what's above it. So the only way you're going to know that is if you go back over to their roadmap here in the white paper to see, well, what was it they were talking about. So this is just a design element fix that they need to go ahead and address, in regards, to this particular section of their page. All right, and let me see here. And we also, we need to know what they've already completed. What's been done, what's pending in process and ongoing. And are we going to be getting a V2, on the roadmap at the end of the roadmap? So yeah, that's going to be my feedback in regards to the roadmap. Selling points, they give you some information here, media partners as well, and supported by, and they give you some icons representing those entities. So that's the foot of the page, nothing else to go ahead and really say in regards to the token. Giving you guys, my thoughts, again, it's never me attacking or going after any team. At the end of the day, I just try to go ahead and tell you guys what I see and what I don't see and what my concerns are, if I've got any. So, and then I put it in your hands for you guys to go ahead and do your own due diligence, form your own assessment and evaluation, taking into account, some things I've said here, but seeing if there are any other content creators talking about it and just getting as many details and as much information as you can so that you can operate from an informed position as you take a look at a token. So, if you're not, I know as far as the audience I've built, on YouTube so far, it's just been through doing, these reviews and whatnot, these walkthroughs of different projects, but let's say that you're new, and you want to get some additional information, like maybe how to take a look at a project, just get some information that you're not getting through these videos. That's what the Patreon's for. So if you go to my main page, my YouTube page, and you go to the community tab, you can see, how to go ahead and engage with the Patreon there. And so sign up to become a Patreon, if you'd like to, because we do provide some educational content there that we really don't, focus on so much, here on the channel on the videos, So with that said, the videos here that I do on the channel, they are time sensitive. If you're not yet a subscriber, please consider subscribing because, as we can see here, on the Pink Sale pre-sale page, whether we're talking about charts or we're talking about, sales of a token, they're pretty much always time bound, So if you want to be aware of when, I drop new content to the channel, you got to become a subscriber and turn on those notifications to be aware of that. So thank you so much for watching. As always, ladies and gentlemen, you all be careful out there and enjoy the day.